We've seen enough of it in school. So please, everybody come on video and just mute yourself, because now the conversation is going to be between me and Viji ma'am, and we're going to have a very interesting conversation. We'll also take your questions.
You can all be on video,
because a lot of questions will come. Yeah, everybody can come on video. So if you could all come on video, please, everybody, it will be nice. We would love to see. Yeah, it's live as well. Krisha, what you can also do is just mute everybody except me and Viji. Okay. So we'll give it a minute. We'll give it 30 seconds, ma'am, and then we start. We're going to start with a song, by the way. Krisha is going to sing a song.
No. I'm not going to sing it.
I'm just putting a leg. I'm just having fun with you. We'll just give it a few seconds. Everybody can come on video. If you can come on video and just mute yourself, that would be nice. Yeah. All right. So now that everybody's come on video, now that everybody's here on this very interesting platform, Viji Amma, so nice to see you in person. You are special, not just for people who watch the movie. You're special for the exemplary work you've done for cancer conquerors, I believe. And I think that goes without saying. Now, I wanted to tell everybody here that, we were talking about the Chai for Cancer. Right? It's entering the 10th year now, right? And, we all have a glass which we raise for Chai for Cancer, and we did that earlier also. But ma'am, before I start, I want to know who is Trishur Ramakrishnan Vijay Lakshmi? Kaun hai ye?
Trishur Ramakrishnan Vijay Lakshmi is the daughter of Ramakrishnan, also known as Ambi, to his whole family, who hails from Trishur. So I get my tea from my father's hometown, R from my father's name. Vijay Lakshmi is my given name. As you know, is the custom in our families. The granddaughter is named first grand after the paternal grandmother, and the second after the maternal. So both our grandmothers were Lakshmis. So we are a plethora of Lakshmis in our family, and so that's Vijay Lakshmi. Raja Lakshmi, my sister, is also there. I don't know if Gauri Lakshmi is here. I can't see her on my screen. So that's TR Vijay Lakshmi.
So you should thank the SFactor Show for getting all your sisters and family in one picture for a group pic.
I think so.
Amma, I must ask you this question. We're speaking about 10 years of this of the Chai for Cancer journey and your work in the Max Foundation. And I know you've traveled abroad. You've been abroad. Then you came back to India. Tell us a bit about that entire journey. We all of us have seen that wonderful smile, the charm which you have, and it goes without saying, the grace under pressure, like they call it. That's what I believe. But tell us a bit about the journey when you started off. How was it when you went overseas? How did things happen? You came back to India, and the entire journey is very important because we talk about cancer, we talk about conquering cancer, but you have gone through your own journey as well, right? Tell us a bit about that for the larger audience here.
Yeah, so it's like any normal, ordinary South Indian Tamil-speaking Iyer family. Of course, I told you my father's from Trishur. My mother was born and brought up in Thiruvananthapuram, and my father moved to Delhi at a very young age. He joined the Home Ministry, and all of us, we were all born and raised. Well, we were born in our hometowns, like in my mother's house in Trivandrum, but we were raised in Delhi. And every young girl of my generation, I grew up in the 60s. I guess we had stars in our eyes. I think all of us at some time or the other either wanted to be an air hostess or wanted to be a radio announcer. And then when television came up, I know for sure I wanted to be somebody who would read news on television. There was a time when I wanted very badly to be a doctor, but then I was terrible in physics and chemistry and maths, so that was ruled out. So we finished school in Delhi, and I passed out from Lady Sri Ram College with a degree in English literature. Yes. And like all good Iyer girls waiting for the arranged marriage to happen, I taught in a school and then got married. And this is something so normal, so routine, so ordinary for most people of my generation. And I got married and I came to Bombay. Bombay is a city I had maybe visited just once before I was married. And I've lived in Bombay now for going to finish 49 years in this great city. And of course, So there's me. I'm an amalgamation of both the cities, Delhi and Bombay. And I'm one of those rare people who like both the cities. Otherwise, you're either a Bombay aficionado or you're a Delhi person. So Bombay is my home now. Delhi keeps my soul because Delhi's, Delhi is where I grew up. And yes, I got married, had my babies. Don't tell them, but they're old men now, okay? They're middle-aged old men now. Had my babies, and then my husband was working in the oil refinery. And in those days, it was amazing. I know we'd never heard of Venezuela ever before, except for the fact that there were quite a few Miss Universes that came, out of Venezuela. But we went to Venezuela and we were there for a few years, and it was an amazing experience. Oil refinery, so that was the oil country. We were a group of 15, 16 Indian families. There were a lot of expats out there, so we were thrown in together with people from Finland, from the Netherlands, from different countries. It was an amazing. We were so young, and our boys grew up in this really nice atmosphere. And so it was quite amazing. We all had to learn Spanish because nobody spoke any other language there. They called all Indians Hindus. We were all called Hindus. And we Venezuelans and us, we look like each other. It's the same latitude. It was like you're living in Kerala. You have Muringaka Maram out there. You have I've made banana chips. I've never made banana chips in my life at my own kitchen in India, but I used to make banana chips regularly there. We used to get those lovely plantains, and so it was nice. But then, like all nice things, it came to an end. But this nice thing came to an end with not such a nice thing. So the currency, the oil prices went down. They had to devalue their currency, so we were left with really nothing. And my husband, I till today, that's one of the decisions he made that I admire the most. Other than choosing me as his wife. Okay, that's number one. He said,
"Your sister's laughing."
Back.
Your sister's laughing.
He said, "I'm not
going back home." I think she's in on the joke.
He said, "I'm not going back home empty-handed. I want to study." And I was like in shock. I said, "You're 40 years old. What do you want to go to school for? What do you want to study?" He said, "No, everything is we've lost everything here. But you know what? I want to do my MBA. I want to go back to India with an MBA degree." So at that age, he wrote the TOEFL and whatever you have to write, and he got into business school. My brother and his family who live in Chicago, they're there. So they were a great help to us. So he went to school. My boys went to school. I was social security cards are not valid for employment. We were really in a very difficult position. My husband did not get an assistantship, and he was a very heavy smoker. I think I must tell you this. And he decided to stop buying cigarettes. He said, "I will not spend US dollars on cigarettes and till I get an assistantship." And I said, "Okay, I'll give up on makeup. I also want to do something." So I gave up on makeup. He got his assistantship. He never went back to cigarettes. As you can see, of course, I went back to makeup. But during that time, I sold makeup. You've heard of Avon Cosmetics?
Yes, of course.
I would go door to door selling Avon Cosmetics, and I would babysit because we needed all the money we could get at that time, so we could give our children all they needed, and we could live okay. But I think that really taught us a lot of things, and all my self-confidence, my public speaking skills. And I used to go to schools there also. I used to go and talk about Indian culture. And so in a way, even though it was a very difficult period, it was also something that gave me, I realized that there are things I can do. And then when we came back to Bombay, my husband got a job in Bombay. It was very difficult settling back. But then I think it was most difficult for my husband to come back to India and get used to things as they were in India. The children, got into school. They were comfortable. You know how it is with children. They just pick up from where they left off. And I had my kitchen, and I was like, it was fine. I was doing all the stuff that homemakers do: cook, clean, make achar, and bake cakes. And I loved that period in life. But then there was a time when I realized that I need to be doing something more. I need to be, bringing in some, just be there and, help. You know how it is. It's a we have a very modest middle class background. You have to book that. If you're in Bombay, you know what a 2 BHK means, a 2-bedroom hall kitchen. Yes. So then it's very interesting when I started looking for a job. I was so confident I would get a job and as a teacher. So I went to some schools and they said, no, you need a B.Ed degree. And that was the first shock I got. I said, oh, but I've taught school for 2 years. That was like some years ago. So I said, okay, fine, I'll do my B.Ed. But they said, no, you have to have experience. And my experience pre-marriage didn't count. There's so many things. So then a friend put me in touch with somebody who ran a non-profit for cancer. And I went and met that gentleman. His name is Viji Venkatesh There. And he was the founder, CEO of Cancer Patients Aid Association. And I don't know what he saw in me, but he took me on. And whatever I am today, I owe a lot to Mr. Sapru and Cancer Patients Aid Association, really. So, Mr. Sapru has this quality in him. He didn't give me a job. I mean, he didn't take a job and say, okay, Viji Venkatesh, do this. He saw who Viji Venkatesh is and created a job that would fit her persona. And I think that's something amazing. It's like, I think that's really a wonderful thing. He must have seen my public speech. I mean, me, I'm not shy, that. So I talk and then, so many things, so he must have said, okay, this person could maybe do something like this. So that's how I got into cancer. A lot of people ask me, is there some personal experience because of which you came into cancer? There's always a backstory, right? So yes, my mother-in-law, just within a couple of years of my marriage, she died of lung cancer. When I was very young, like maybe 16 or 17, I've seen my grandmother struggle with esophageal cancer. But I don't think that, I don't think I can sit here and say, oh, I was, that's the reason why I'm in cancer. But yes, once I started working, really got involved in cancer, I think I understood then what my mother-in-law, she was going through. I used to take my grandmother for radiation. We used to live in this government colony, West Kidwai Nagar, which is just across the road from All India Institute of Medical Sciences. I remember we used to go walking, We used to go walking. I used to hold her hand and, my mother would put in a flask some I think Mosambi juice or some soup or something. We would go, she would meet Dr. Gopinath. I remember him, the tall, amazing oncologist, Dr. Gopinath. And then afterwards we would sit, she would have whatever my mother had put in the flask and we walk back. I mean, just imagine. So I remember those things. So I guess that definitely, there is no family that doesn't have a cancer narrative. So,
Yeah.
So I guess that's it. And so I worked with TPA for many years. I did a lot of work in cancer prevention, cancer awareness, talking to mill workers, factory workers. My basic project was cancer education at the workplace. And I think a turning point came when I was deputed to help set up the preventive oncology in Tata Memorial Hospital. This was, I think, early 91, 92. That's really a long time ago, come to think of it. And 3 years I spent there. I would be there in the mornings and I would do my cancer detection camps for CPA in the afternoons. And so I think that kind of, Tata Hospital is actually a temple. It really is. It's the one temple I worship at. It really is a temple. And I think that gave me a lot of, and at that time, Dr. R.S. Rao, who was the director of Tata Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Jagannath, who was one of the oncologists, they helped me prepare a project proposal for the International Union Against Cancer. And I got the fellowship. I went there. I spent 3 weeks there with various departments, and that was another wonderful experience. And okay, so that's where I got the idea for Eye for Cancer from. So now I know I've been speaking a lot. You may have other questions to ask, but I'll stop here now.
No, I think what you said is a very interesting story. And that's the reason why I started right at the beginning. I said your grace under pressure. And you remind me a lot about Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep has also been through a lot in this journey of yours. And I think that resonates a lot with everyone out here. Now, Ma'am, tell me this. You are 71 years old, you are 16 years old, and your movie which you just acted in is the talk of the town. Okay, everybody's talking about it. The one with the magic lamp. I won't tell the magic words because I want to hear it from your mouth. But tell me this: how did the movie happen? How did everybody's been talking about it because obviously you are though the movie stars Fasil, you are the talking point in the movie, whether you believe it or not. I spoke to
I
your
find that
casting
very
director also
difficult to believe.
because the actor is not there in this movie because father is not there in the show. But I'm just telling you. But when we all saw the movie, I think all of us, there are people who have seen the movie 6 times, 7 times. I've got friends, colleagues from India and overseas who have told me that one thing which really stands out in the movie is you and the magic lamp, and of course the pepper spray. So I couldn't get the shoes, but I could get the pepper spray. So tell me, how did the movie happen? How did the casting happen? What really went into it? And how was the experience like? Tell us something which you've not told all the papers before.
The casting, it is really incredible. There was a message on my Instagram message box from Gayatri Smita, who's a casting director, and I didn't see that message, to be honest, till I was in the film. So then you will ask me, then how did Gayatri get in touch with me? So apparently Gayatri has sent these messages, and I didn't. When you check messages from people who you are in touch with, you don't go in. There is another box that you go into. I now go in there quite a bit because a lot of patients reach out to me through that box. A lot of patients, but I had missed Gayatri's message, and I think she got in touch with this young boy called Ankit, who was in Red Chili Productions, and it was just a chance that Ankit became my friend on Facebook. I thought he was reaching out to me for some cancer query, and I know we have a common friend, Harsh, who's also an actor himself, Harsh Singh. So Ankit sent a message saying, "Ma'am, we are casting for a Malayalam film. Are you interested? Do you speak Malayalam?" So I said to him something which I then said for repeatedly, which I have said for I don't know how many times and how many days I said it. I said that I have a full-time job and I don't speak Malayalam. And every time, I would get these messages, that was what I would say. Then one day, Gayatri Smita called up. I still hadn't seen her message. Gayatri Smita called and said, "I'm Gayatri Smita. I'm a casting director. I'm looking for people to star in a film that's being directed by Akhil Satyan. Akhil Satyan is the son of well-known film director Satyan Antikad, sir." And so, she told me this. So I said, "Oh, I see." So I said, "Oh, wow, Satyan Antikad's son. Oh, so this is, then I read that there is something to this film." And then she said, "Wait, before you tell me you don't speak Malayalam and you have a full-time job, Akhil is coming to Bombay on a Sunday and he speaks English. Will you please go and see him?" So, I thought that was one great line where she said, he speaks English. It's a Sunday, so go see him. So then there was a caveat. Is that the right way to pronounce it? Yeah,
absolutely.
So he said, but you have to remove your bangles, no makeup, no bindi, just wear ordinary clothes. And, I couldn't get rid of the tattoo. So she said, I said, hello, I can't take off my nose pin, and you really want me to take off my bangles? I think it's something like the director has to see the canvas, or I don't know what it's called. So I said, fine, I'll do that. Though I was grumbling and I was saying, then oh my God, what am I getting into? But anyway, I did it. So I wore some very ordinary salwar kameez and no mic. Can you imagine me with no mic and no lipstick? And I just went and I walked into this restaurant in Bandra that they had chosen as our rendezvous spot. And there was this young boy. He was so young. He was this big smiling face, and he stood up and he welcomed me. And I liked him. I actually really liked him. This is public domain. Otherwise, I would have said that I really fell in love with that boy at that time. Oh, I said it. Okay, I said it.
I hope his father's listening.
So he was amazing. We sat and we ate grilled fish and mashed potatoes, and we talked. And he told me the whole story. He had conceptualized and he had written the whole story. The last line where the actor says, "Aval padikette," till then everything was done. So he was just looking for people to fit into the role he had written. And yeah, so we had this nice chat, and I remember I cried when I heard the story, the way, you know, it all happened. It was very moving. It was, so we didn't say anything, you know, okay, wonderful, we'll be in touch. And so then I came back home, and then, but he had said that, can we meet again? I'm here for 4 days. Can we meet again? So I said, yes, we can meet again. I think the day after I had a morning free. And then he said, can you wear a sari and come? So I said, yeah, okay. And I never told you the reason Gayatri Smita called me first was she had seen a photograph of mine on Instagram. She had seen a photograph of mine on Instagram, and that matched the look, the brief that the director had given her. And this photograph has a story. This is a photograph taken by Srinanda Shankar, who's an actor, model herself, and she dabbles a lot in makeovers. And I had met her. See how Chai for Cancer comes everywhere. I had met her at a Chai for Cancer Adda hosted by Chirodeep, my good friend Chirodeep and Rohini. Srinanda is their very close friend. We met and we exchanged notes on lipstick. And I said, you're wearing, oh my God, you're wearing this shade, Urban Decay. Isn't that Urban Decay? I'm very fond. I mean, and then she said, you know what? Why don't you come over once with Rohini? You know, I do makeovers. It's like fun. So I went there and she did this makeover. She gave me peach lipstick and she did, I mean, like, and then that was a photograph which matched the brief that Akhil had given Gayatri Smita. So that's how, look at Insta, I mean, look at the power of social media. So I guess it's that, you know. So that's how I got into the film. And then Akhil met me after a couple of days. I was wearing a sari, and then he was like, fine, we were still talking, and not knowing Malayalam was, of course, I know Malayalam. It's very bad Malayalam, and I like, you know, but I know. So, but then he actually said, okay, I need to do a screen test. I mean, no, that's what we do. So I said, okay. We were a quiet place. We were at the Taj Mahal tea house. There was a lot of noise by then. So I said, you can come to my office. I have a room. It's very quiet. And so we came to my office, which is in Worli, and then he gave me this dialogue to say. That was my screen test. The dialogue is like, Ashwine, Deva undallo, Deva undangiloto, Namada Kodane undu on the pitch to put in the Kayavit, Vilichati Nokada. Oh, now I know it by heart because I've learned it 100,000 times. But when he showed it to me at that time, I said, no, I can't do this. I said, sorry, but, you know, I really can't learn up this dialogue and you know, repeat it. So he was like, you know, this woman is so fussy. I know, I think I saw that look on his face. But then he said, okay, can you translate it in Hindi? Can you say it in Hindi? So I said, yeah, Ashwin, dekho na ye Bhagwan bhi kya cheez hai, something like that I said, you know. And then he tells me, see, you can act. You can act. So that's it. Malayalam will teach you.
So on that note, Viji, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, and everyone over here. The thing is, there's a interruption with Zoom meeting. It ends. It has only like 40 minutes time limit. So we have to leave the meeting and have to join back again in another 10 minutes. So
okay,
we can
have
continue
to join back
there.
in 10 minutes because this conversation continues.
This has to
We have
continue.
to see what you spoke. And everybody else, please join in again after 10 minutes. Please come with your chaya, coffee, whatever you want. Yeah. After 10 minutes, now it's 6:30. We come back after at 6:40. Viji ma'am, you're fine, right?
I'm absolutely fine. Yes.
Super, because you're the main protagonist. I'm sub director. Okay, we join back again in 10 minutes. And again in 10 minutes by around 6:40.
You're going to send us the link?
It's the same link.
Same link.
The same link.
All right, wonderful.
The same link at 6:40.
All right,
same
great.
Link.
All right, great.
So, time to put the pancake on and let's come back again after 10 minutes.
Difficult it must have been for Akhil, you know, to wait for the film to begin. Yes, so apparently I passed the screen test, the audition. And then he did a look test after that. The stylist came and the photographer came, the DOP, Sharan Velayudan, the stylist Uttara Menon, very well-known stylist, she came. And then we, they tried on various costumes, which they felt that Umachi, I mean, Uttara's style has, given me the most beautiful saris to wear, and she's made Umachi look so elegant and so, Umachi
so
is not me.
Yeah.
Umachi is not me. It's Akhil's vision and how Uttara styled her. Seriously, yeah.
We're getting a lot of messages on the message box. There's a gentleman called Rakesh Menon, who's also an actor. He's messaged that thank God you cleared the screen test. And I think he's also seen all the movies you've acted in. We're getting a lot of messages from everyone else. But tell me this, Viji ma'am, you're talking about what happened now? You were talking about the audition and the casting which took place. Now you seem so natural when you were acting with actors of the caliber of Fahad Fasil. Everybody here knows Fahad Fasil is such a class act, right? And I'm sure I don't know whether you felt nervous, but we all would feel nervous when acting with somebody like Fahad Fasil. How was it acting with him, acting with actors like Mukesh, Innocent? I remember you made Innocent laugh rather than Innocent laughing, right? I think rather than you laughing, you actually cracked a joke which made Innocent laugh, and the late Innocent, who was so good at physical comedy. You've acted in Innocent, Mukesh, with Fahad Fasil, of course, with all these great stalwarts of Malayalam films. How was that experience acting with them? Because this is your first acting job. Before this, you were acting as a boy in plays in Delhi.
Yes, correct? I was Julius in our school play.
From Julius Caesar to Umachi, how's that been? Tell me the transition.
I was Julius Caesar because I was taller than all the guys in my class and I had this big loud voice. So to talk about acting with these seasoned stars, that's the beauty of Malayalam cinema, whether it is Fahad Fasil or Vineet Radhakrishnan, Mukesh sir, Innocent sir, Shanti Krishna, they are just ordinary, normal human beings. There are no airs about them. The whole unit is like a family. We would all sit around the table and have a lunch together. We would have breakfast together. You could find me in Vineet's vanity van with Abhiram, who does the role of Peter. And there was this, and they gave me, all of them gave me such wonderful advice. Vineet he called me Didi. He kept telling me, when you're waiting to be called for your shot, just mouth your dialogues. Don't say it out in your mind. Say it out. Talk so that, the words fall easily on your lips so that, you can enunciate them properly. Abhiram gave me some advice, which was very important. He said, don't learn everything by heart. Understand the scene. It's quite possible in the set, they may just change a line. So, and Fahad was like, Umachi, the fan is better here. Or like, somebody would come to, his assistant would come to him with Pista Badam, and he would always say, Adi Umachi Kurkan. And he was just so, they were just so amazing. And I think the only person who was intimidating was Akhil Satyan.
Okay, because of his
but he was amazing. He never told us what to do. He told us, this is it. He gave me my dialogues. He said, this is it. And he just let us be, he just let me be myself. And I don't think there was any time I really felt uncomfortable. My first dialogue in my first Malayalam film was in Hindi. I walk up to the little Nidhi and I say, Naam kya hai beta? And I was like, oh my God, that's my first dialogue. And he was worrying about my Malayalam. And this was a dialogue in Hindi. And there was one scene that was very, very difficult. That was on the second day of shooting, second or third. That was this big reconciliation scene between Riaz and Laila, the mother-daughter, the mother-son scene where he comes and says, Muchi.
That was incidentally the best scene which everybody cried at, I'm telling you, because that scene was it was the watershed moment.
By the end of that scene, I didn't need the glycerin they were giving me. I was anyway in tears because all the dialogues were so heavy, they were so nuanced. There was, I kept making mistakes, take after take after take, and after Akhil said, okay, I actually went into the loo and I cried because I was like, what have I got myself into? How am I going to do tomorrow's scenes? But then it was over, then tomorrow was another day. And, it is fun. I enjoyed myself. I worked very hard. I'm not denying it. I learned my lines. I really worked hard. My son said something very, he said something that, Amma, this is great. I mean, how many people can say that at the age of 71, they did something for the first time in their life? Here you've gone and acted in a film for the first time in your life. I mean, that's fantastic. You have been fearless. So I think I'll take that.
You should always listen to your sons.
Yeah, sons don't say nice things to their mother. So here he was saying a nice thing and I got onto it.
There's an interesting connection between you and Vineet, where he calls you Didi, right?
Yes.
He calls you Didi, and his role is also very interesting. We all think it's grey, but it turns out to be something else altogether. I think each role has got so many shades to it. Tell us about that, that because you have a lot of scenes with him, with Vineet. Tell us about that rapport you shared with him. How did you break the ice? What was it like?
It just happened. The first day of shooting, I was sitting outside the makeup van, and Akhil came with Vineet, and the gentleman looked familiar. Then I wasn't sure. Then Akhil said, "This is Vineet Radhakrishnan, and you are having your scene." So you won't believe it. I got up when I hugged him because that's me. Okay, Akhil calls me the hug machine. But then Mukesh sir also had hugged me. When he met me for the first time, he came up, he hugged me and said, "Welcome to Malayalam cinema." So then Vineet and I don't know how, we just clicked. We just clicked, and he was just the most to be acting with. We found
the Tam connection.
After we shot a lot of scenes in Bombay, we were being dropped to our hotel, and I was so hungry. I said, so we got off at the subway, and we grabbed a sandwich each, and we just kind of hit it off. It is just fabulous, and it was wonderful because I had a lot of scenes with him, but he's such a powerful actor. When he yells at me, I did not have to act. My face just blanched when he says, "Get into the car, Umachi." I didn't even realize, that's how it's going to be. So I think Akhil, Sharan Velavid and the DOP, I think he just caught that expression. I was not acting. I was just reacting, I think.
Lovely. So, even that boy who was watching a football match, I think he must have broken into tears. His son, when he just starts shouting at him, I was like, he'll stop watching cricket. He'll start playing cricket instead of football. I felt that. Ma'am, I have to ask you this question. This was shot in very nondescript places of Goa and Bombay and all these other places, and you know Bombay well, right? You know Bombay inside out. We know of your photography skills. We know of the kind of stories you have across Bombay. How was an experience for you in shooting these places in Bombay and Goa? What was it like for you?
See, Bombay was something very special. Akhil shot in all my favorite places. When Akhil came to my office for that screen test, there's this beautiful dargah. If you follow me on social media, you'll find photographs of dargah, Hajiani. So I told Akhil that I would like to go there. I go there when I'm very happy, and today I'm really happy that I'm going to do your film. So he said, "Yeah, come, let's go." So we went there. As soon as we went inside, he said, "Ma'am, can we shoot here? This is so beautiful." I said, "Yeah, of course we'll go." We went and spoke to Zahir Bhai, who manages the trust of the Mahajiani, and then they managed to get all the permissions. And to me, this was so surreal that this is a place I go to, and I'm going to act in a film, and I'm actually shooting in the dargah. It was, I don't think, ek wo kahavat nahi hai, ye something मांग के दुआ अब हाथ और नहीं उठते हैं.
Yeah.
There's a share in Urdu. After having asked for and got what I did, my hands cannot rise in supplication anymore. I mean, that's how it was. And that beautiful song, that Tingal Povin, that is picturized in the dargah. It is the most beautiful experience. Yeah. So then we shot in Juhu, then we shot on Marine Drive, we shot in Balad Estate, we shot in Lokhandwala. And we shot at a slum in Andheri. And that was Nidhi's house. The first sequence where Nidhi's brother, who's the newspaper delivery boy, and where Nidhi's mother
song in the opening, yes, that's how it's connected to the end also. Yeah.
Yes, when Nidhi's mother get remarried, I had to climb up those really steep, 2 or 3 times, while the shot was going on, and I remember Rajiv Rajendra, one of the assistant directors, saying, "Umachi, you are climbing up and down like this so fast. Look at us, people who are half your age, we are struggling."
But I think it is also because of your pink shoes.
Maybe. Umachi is so like me. My sneakers are pink. I love bread omelette. Okay, I don't travel with less luggage. I have lots of luggage. And Umachi she's talkative. And I remember
We'll do a small poll right now. We'll do a small poll right now. How many of us, we'll do a small poll right now. We just need to raise our hand. How many of us like bread on omelette? Anybody who likes bread on omelette goes on a date with Umachi. Only 2 of us. Umachi, I have to ask you this question, and before I open this out to the larger audience, because there are some questions in the chat box. What is really important for you? Is it the journey, the destination, or the company?
Oh my goodness!
Not in the movie. Yeah. This should make you think. Yeah.
The journey, the destination, the company. Why can't I say all 3 of them? I mean, like, why not?
Yeah, go for it.
Why not? Why not? All 3 of them. The journey, the people with me, and my destination. You see, if my destination wasn't important enough, I wouldn't embark on the journey. And if I didn't have the people I loved with me, what is the point of having a journey? So all 3.
That's the reason why we are talking to you on the SFactor Show, because you make it sound very good. Thank you so much. Now we're going to open the questions out to the audience. Kresha, we've got some questions from the audience, I believe. We've got a very interesting group.
There's one question that asks, how was your last day at the shoot?
Oh my goodness. It was sad. I was feeling very sad that, I have to go back and I will not be part of the unit anymore. I knew that this was the last day. I knew that I hadn't got any more in. There were no shoot. There were no call sheets, etc. After this particular, it was in Goa. And it was the scene when everybody yells at me when Pachu ditches me. He gives me away to Riaz. Riaz comes and yells at me, and it was a very sad. All those were terrible. But the last scene was I'm sitting in the car and I'm giving Pachu those really dirty looks, like, you weasel, you
they call it a death stare.
And I look at him really angrily. So that's the scene. And then cut. Akhil says, cut, okay. And then he opens the door. And I was so intent on the scene, I didn't realize what was happening. He opens the car door and the whole unit is standing there. There's Fahad, there's Akhil, there's Vineet, there's Abhiram, there are all the assistant directors, there's Pandian sir, everybody. And they all clapped, because that was the last scene that was shot. It was very emotional. So nice. It was really lovely. It was really lovely.
Yeah. I think the warmth of the unit also resonates with you. I think the warmth which they have as a film unit, I think that shows in the way you've acted also, because I think it was like family, right? The entire unit.
Really. Yes.
And during the course of this conversation, I've noticed that you have mentioned 5 names constantly who are from the film unit. Be it Rajiv, be it the DOP, be it all these people. I think all of them are really special to you, right? It's not just a film affair, but I think it's much more.
No, yeah. They're very special. Aaron and all of them, everybody. They're just very, very special people. Yeah.
Very nice. Kresha, do you have another question?
Yeah, there's one more question. Do you anticipate being approached with an Indira Gandhi script someday?
Many people have told me I look like Indira Gandhi. Many people, especially after I cut my hair really short and the grey in it. And
Kangana might get jealous. Kangana Ranaut might get jealous. She's acting as Indira Gandhi.
I really admire Mrs. Gandhi. I really admire. I have met her once when I was very young. I was like 17 or 18. And she really impressed me. I really admire her. So if someone did offer me the role, I would take it with both hands and I would do it.
You've got a very interesting question, Kresha. I think from Shamishta, who's a very dear friend. Yeah. You want to go for the question? Yeah.
Age is just a number. How do we encourage fellow women to follow their passion or live life to their fullest? This is a very interesting question.
Shamishta, you want to join us on video?
Yeah. I'm very honest. I'll say this really honestly, that I come from a very privileged background, and it's very easy for me. It's very easy. It's what I did has been very easy for me, because I had, parents brought us up in such an amazing manner that we got our values right. I got married into a household that respects the same values. My children have grown up into good kids. I have a job. I have enough financial resources that makes me independent. It's very easy for me to say, you must walk every day in the morning and you must eat the right food and you must be working. And not everybody has everything that, some of us are really lucky to have. But one thing I will say that, like my sister once advised me to do something and I said, no, Raji, I can't do that. She says, yeah, you're just like Ummachi. Adan ende koyappam parnya kekkilla. So I said, yeah, that's how I am. So I think the one rule I live by is, I'm being very honest, the power to make you happy, don't give it to anybody else. Keep it with you. The power to make you happy, and equally important, the power to make you unhappy. Don't give it to anybody else. Keep that with you. That's yours. That power is yours to wield, and the world is your oyster. You can do what you want with it. Again, I'm telling you, I'm very privileged. All of us come from very privileged backgrounds. It's very easy to say all this. But in my patients, I've seen women from whom I've learned. I've seen young children, young adults. I've learned so much. My patients they know that they don't have too long to live. They know that their life will be cut short at any time. They always said that their cancer has taught them to appreciate life more. Their cancer has made them better people. They're always, you come to one of our patient meetings, it's like some wedding. There's laughter, there's joy, there's good cheer, there's camaraderie. And so I think my job has kept me very, very focused and very, very young, because I'm learning every day. And I think as long as you're learning, you never stop growing. I don't know. That sounds all very complicated, but that's it.
Lovely. Shamishta, hopefully she's answered your question.
Rakesh wants to
yeah, Rakesh. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening, all. Ummachi, I have one question. Towards the end of
Rakesh, only one question, huh?
Yeah, only one question.
Just pulling a leg. Go for it.
Did Ummachi end up giving that property to Fahad or not in the movie?
Oh, Fahad said he doesn't want it. Fahad says he doesn't want it. He says he didn't take it. He said there are many more important things, many more valuable things which I have now received. I don't want it. He didn't take it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. You're listening to it from your car. How amazing.
Yeah. He's based out of Coimbatore. He's a very dear friend. He's also an actor.
Thank you.
And he's a very popular man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and someone says that, ma'am, you were not acting. There was, in fact, you were actually living your role. So that is one comment that is given by one of the audience here.
A lot of people have said that, but I did go there and do what Akhil asked me to do and a little bit more. And so I was playing the role, but I think this, a lot of people call films and the world of films make-believe. And after acting or after being involved in the making of this film, I realized that it's not make-believe at all. It's very real. I was that woman there. I was actually that person. Vineet was Riaz. Fahad was Pachu. Abhiram was Petere. Like that young boy Piyush. He was Savio. He lived the role. Veena Nair as Dr. Alice lived the role.
Yeah.
Altaf as that Sujite. He lived the role. So we all became very real characters out there.
That's important. Yeah, and someone also requested
another question.
Yeah. There are two people who wants to ask question. Before
I think Viji ma'am is answering more questions than she's asked in the movie. Yeah? She's spending more. I think in the movie she had so many questions as much as questions on the SFactor Show, on the fireside chat. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Someone also recommends or suggests that you enter the OTT arena because the first Malayalam web series is coming out next week. So with your immense talent, they request you to enter the OTT arena.
I'm not able to. It's all very surreal. I cannot understand, or I cannot really accept the fact that people have really loved, are appreciating my performance. I cannot really. It's like all I wanted was not to be an embarrassment to my family, to my to my colleagues. Here I've been talking about, I'm acting in this film, and imagine if I hadn't done well. My mother's so proud. My mother's so delighted. Right from day one, it's the nicest thing about the film was how happy it made her. She's 96 years old, and she's like, yeah.
Lovely. Very nice.
I
think Mr. Prabhakar has a question. Yeah.
Yes.
Will you be acting in more movies?
Why not? If somebody offers me a good role in a Malayalam film, yes. Yes. I think it's Malayalam cinema. I think it's the world of Malayalam films and cinema that has been the most beautiful part of this. They are just amazing people.
Amazing, absolutely.
Amazing people. Yeah.
Viji ma'am, I have to ask you a question. Okay, we have got another question. Go for it.
Yeah, someone else also wants to ask a question. Galaxy 8. One of them. You asked in the chat box if you can answer it, ask a question.
It could be the director. Huh? By the way, I invited Akhil and the casting director to join in. And Akhil was very sweet. He told me, you know what, I'm babysitting my daughter. I cannot join in. I just know that is more important. But your Umachi is there on the show with me, so I might just kidnap her, I told her.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir. Yes, you can ask the question. Sir.
So, Kresha, can you only hear the question? Yeah.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am. I would say this is universe conspiring because last week when I was in Delhi and I follow you on Instagram because my wife asked me to follow you on Instagram because of which I have a cancer initiative. I lost my father last year, this June only, to cancer of the CBD. And this year was the first anniversary of his passing, and I was kind of very emotional. And I was so I shuttled between Bangalore and Delhi because of my work, and I was trying to. I thought, how should I reach you, and how should I learn more about this Chai for Cancer initiative and become a part of it? But maybe it couldn't happen. And today, Shekhar's dear friend Jinso, I think he's here on.
Oh yes, yeah.
I saw Jinso's status. So Jinso and I work together on some projects sometimes. So I was like, okay, don't tell me. What is this opportunity? Suddenly I see because Viji ma'am's photograph was there in that, and I quickly logged on to Zoom, and here I am. I'm talking to you. I can't believe it happened. So I would connect with you, ma'am, separately. Also, I'll email you.
Please do that. Please do that.
And lovely to know about your Malayalam debut, because it was the lockdown that I got to more towards Malayalam. I'm from North originally, and I got into more of Malayalam cinema watching, and Fahad Fasil is like my favorite actor. I saw Joji and I was like fully crazy. So I have also debuted a very small role in Netflix 2 years back. It was again by chance. I'm not really.
I think you sent this message.
I did. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
you did. Yes, I remember this message. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm the same guy. Thank you.
How nice.
Yes. So I've worked on a second project also. I'll send you the details when it gets released.
Wonderful.
And
so
thank you.
Like I said, we have a lot of actors here.
Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks to Jinso too. Jinso is a colleague of mine. Yeah, he's also here on the show.
Thank you.
He's not showing us his face, but so nice to see you, Aslam. So nice to see you, and so nice to hear your story too. Anybody else? Any other question? I think Galaxy A2. I think there was a question from there, from Mr. Vinod Nair. Krisha, you might have to unmute him.
Okay, now you can hear? Yeah, yes, ma'am. Normally, I don't miss any Fahad Fasil movies, but it's very sad that I missed out this movie. Despite my sister and Shekhar telling me last time when I visited Palakkad. So first thing tomorrow morning is I'm going to watch this movie, because what I heard was, really it's, I really missed it out. I will definitely see that tomorrow. Second thing is I am a cancer survivor patient. But a couple of years ago, I had a sort of a growth under my tongue. So I was treated at Rajgiri Hospital, and touch wood, everything is okay now. In fact, yesterday
that's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, so when you know that you are on the cancer care, it was really, respectful of me to talk to you. And I wish somebody opens something like this here, or whenever you come down to Kerala, probably you could address some of the surviving patients like us.
And I think you're coming on the 24th, right? Viji ma'am, you're coming on the 24th to Cochin?
No, I'm not coming on the 24th. Okay. I might be in Cochin on 13th, 14th of July. We have a patient group meeting there. So yes, 13th, 14th July. If I'll let you know. I will confirm. Yes. Yes.
That definitely would love to come and meet. And I think we have an asset for Malayalam film industry with you in it.
Oh yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's so kind of you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
I think we've got another question from Shamishta, who does a lot of work Yeah, Shamishta is also there. She's got a question, right? Kresha?
Yeah, I would love if you throw some light on caregivers therapy on your Insta handle or other social media.
I will definitely do that. In fact, the next newsletter that we are bringing out for Friends of Max, which is the patient support group that I run, we are bringing it. It's a special issue on the caregivers, and I will make sure to send you the link to that. Yes, you please follow Friends of Max and Child for Cancer on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Twitter. It's all there. It's just Friends of Max and it's Child for Cancer. And you will be able to get a lot of information.
Super.
Yeah, she also says.
Yeah, so Shamishta is also a caregiver therapist. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Jinso sir saying, I'm sorry for not showing my face. I'm at an event. Best wishes to Viji ma'am for all the good things she's doing. A new thing known to her. Instagram follow. Thanks to Shekhar for the show. SFactor.
Thank you.
I think my mom also had a question. Actually, Amma, you have a question? Okay, mommy doesn't want to ask right now, but it's okay. But Kresha, you have any questions for ma'am? Though you've not seen the movie? Or you want to go watch the movie with English subtitles?
Yeah.
You're going to make all your friends jealous because you're talking to somebody who's acted Fahad Fasil. Fahad Fasil is supposed to be the...
Yeah, I already told my friends and they are pretty jealous. So they're like, I want to meet her. Yeah.
I think, my mom wants to ask a question, Kresha. If my mom doesn't ask, then I won't be allowed inside the house. So let my mom ask the question. She's got a question for her. You can ask it from here, Amma. Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. You're the topic of discussion parties, you know that? They speak so high of you, and then I show it, and then I show them your photograph. You know, both of us together.
We had a lovely lunch when I was in Palakkad. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So all the ladies in the kitty party were having tattoos after that. Thank you so much. We're still not over. Rakesh, you have a small admirer there who has a question. Kresha, you want to unmute Rakesh? Any more questions? Any more?
No, I just... Sorry. Now, I was just showing my daughter. Here is Umachi.
Oh, so sweet. Hi.
Okay. Viji ma'am, I've also got a very, very close family friend who knows us for so many years. You got they're known as Ravi and Ratnam, and they've traveled around the world. They have family across the world, and they're listening to all the conversations which has happened on the SFactor Show from the time it started. Ratnam auntie, you're watching us right now. Do you have a question for Umachi, aka Viji Venkatesh? Kresha, you might need to unmute her. Yeah.
I have
Auntie, you need to
questions,
start again.
I'm sorry?
Auntie, you need to start again. Yeah, you can speak.
Okay. I have a question, but I'm highly inspired by your this whole program, and thank you to a great big thanks to Shekhar to bring Viji, Viji ma'am to this show, and we have come to know so much about her. Even I haven't seen the movie, but now I'm totally inspired by. I mean, I have to see the movie immediately, as soon as possible. It's been so great hearing you. Yeah, it's great, and all the best to you. And we hope to see more and more of you in movies of all languages. Why only Malayalam?
Correct.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So kind of you.
Viji ma'am, I must tell you, Ratnama auntie watches movies of all nature. They watch a lot of Marathi films, and they recommend a lot of Marathi films to us also. They're based out of Bombay, they're based out of Cochin, and they see a lot of movies of all languages. So I think what she says could be right. You could act in other languages too. Why shouldn't you? Right? Because your Hindi is good, your English is good. Now you know Malayalam also so well. But I have to ask you before everybody finishes, Viji ma'am, what is your favorite Satyan Andikad film?
Oh my goodness. Nyan Prakashan, I guess. I loved it. Even though I've seen a few of his other films, I just loved Nyan Prakashan. I just thought it was a brilliant film. Yes.
Yeah, it was. I think especially that scene where he goes for the sadhya and he tells the sambar is not good. It's something which every Malayali can relate to, I'm telling you.
Yes, yes.
Every Malu with a salt will know about what we are talking about. Now, before we finish, there's a Google form which Kresha has uploaded. If you have access to it, please fill in your details. Before we finish, I want to ask Viji ma'am a few questions. Okay. The first thing which comes to your mind, Viji ma'am, when I say the word LSR.
My sisters.
Okay. When I say the word
because
Delhi.
all three of us studied in LSR.
LSR, wow.
Yes.
What about Delhi?
Qutub Minar.
Qutub Minar, wow, nice. And is there a song which you associate with Delhi? The Hum Dono song?
Oh my God,
the song?
Okay. The Qutub Minar, because the boys in my class would call me Chalti Firti Qutub Minar because I was taller than all of them.
They must have been really short, the boys in your class. One word to describe Bombay.
Home.
Kerala.
Education.
Magic lamp.
Akhil Satyan.
Acting.
Raj Kapoor.
Lovely. Indian Railways.
Grand Trunk Express.
I know where you're coming from. Bread omelette.
Paachum Adbhuta Vilakkam.
Vineet.
My brother.
Part Parcel.
Class actor.
And last but certainly not the least, Viji Venkatesh. How would you describe her in one word?
I'm myself.
And that's why you're special. Thank you so much, ma'am. It is so nice to talk to you. It was so nice to see you. You're an interviewer's delight, I must say, because there's no preparation which goes in here. We were just spontaneous. There was no script. And I told you very clearly, I won't share any questions with you because what came into my mind, I just spoke. And it's so nice to hear you engage with everyone here. You're a natural at this. And, not just a speaker. I think you're a born leader too. You're very charismatic. You're very charming. You're very gracious. And I think
Now I'm very embarrassed.
No, you should not be embarrassed. I think I'm speaking for everybody here. Now, if everybody can come on video, I know Jinso cannot come on video because everybody else, if you can come on video and we can make a sign. Tresha, you want us to do some kind of sign which we can take a snapshot of to show that we have time. We got less than 30 seconds left. This is the time. Okay, let's do this. Viji ma'am, I know you're a wonderful singer. I know you're a great singer. I've heard you sing at every Chai for Cancer Adda. One song which everybody can sing, it could be Phoolon Ke Rang Se. I'm sure everybody can sing the song.
Why don't you start?
I'm a bad singer. That's why
we
I
have
talk.
less than 30 seconds, so we might have to.
Phoolon ke rang se, dil ki kalam se, tujhko likhi roz paati, कैसे बताऊं किस किस तरह से पल पल मुझे तो सताते हैं। आंधी ने रोका, पानी ने टोका,